So guys, Season 5 of Star Wars Hunters is finally here, and before anyone asks about PC, that was delayed a couple of weeks ago. I've seen a lot of people asking about that today in the Discord server, and unfortunately it was delayed. We don't have a release date for it just yet, but we do have patch notes for Season 5. The update came out for that earlier, with a bunch of the new seasonal stuff actually releasing tomorrow. Now this is the biggest update the game has ever seen, so I'm not going to go into absolutely every single detail, but Alec DeLorean has done a number of videos already on his channel, so I'd recommend checking his channel out, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. But without wasting any more time, Season 5 for Star Wars Hunters is called Scum and Villainy, which is a perfect name for Star Wars. As you probably all know, Glicken is the brand new hunter. Glicken is a Kubaz rogue who grew up in Coruscant and has a number of really interesting abilities. His main thing is that he can turn invisible, which a lot of people are really scared is going to be OP, but I'm really excited for it, honestly. His main weapon is a melee weapon, which is awesome. It's nice to have another melee character in the game finally. But he does have an ability where he can change to a ranged wrist blaster. And although the update has gone live today, he will be available as of tomorrow. We've also got a new battlefield, so a new map in the game, which is Coruscant Underworld, which is playable now. A lot of people have already played it. I haven't actually been able to get on the game yet, unfortunately. But a lot of people seem to really like it, and there's loads of Easter eggs in there, so I'm very excited for that. But they have also taken some maps out of the game, unfortunately, just to keep the rotation fresh and interesting. So Mos Espa Pod Race and Ewok Village have actually been taken out of the rotation. Now those two maps were in the very first soft launch release for this game, so it's definitely disappointing as a soft launch player to see these go. I'm hoping they do come back, but it does only say that it's taken from casual and ranked, so we might still see them in event playlists, but regardless, it's a bit of a shame, but hopefully it does mean we'll get to play some of the newer maps on a more regular basis. Now the next thing, which is a huge change and addition to the game, is mods. Now mods are a little bit like the loadout system that we used to have back in the game last year, where each hunter has 3 mod slots available, and a mod will change something about the hunter's abilities and statistics. So as it says here, there's rare, epic and legendary mods. Rare mods will add a single improvement to a specific stat, so it could increase movement speed or weapon damage or something like that. Epic mods provide 2 smaller modifications to stats, or they may provide a larger change with a smaller additional trade-off. So it could be increased damage by, I don't know, 10% with a 5% movement speed decrease or something like that. I don't really know. It does actually say here, yeah, your weapon deals more damage but increased spread and recoil, making it harder to control but more suited to short range damage, so it changes quite a bit. Legendary mods can also provide multiple strong modifications to stats, or they provide multiple larger trade-offs. So an example is it will sacrifice a portion of health for a large damage increase, which is going to be really interesting. So we're going to be able to essentially change the way this game plays entirely. Every hunter will launch with 9 mods, so 3 rare, 3 epic, 3 legendary, and mods are acquired via a new currency called chips, or they can be unlocked via the main event, which is another new feature in the game, or the arena pass as well. So 9 mods at launch for every single hunter, and more will release as time goes on in future updates. Now for the mods, there are actual mod slots. So to unlock the first mod slot, all you have to do is seemingly play 10 games. To unlock slot number 2 is to have a roster rating of 30, and I'll get into roster rating shortly. And then mod slot number 3 is roster rating of 150. Like I said, I am hugely excited for this, honestly. I didn't play around with the loadout system too much, but mods seems like a much better way of this working in my opinion, and I'm just very excited for that. Like I said, you can buy mods using chips, which is a new currency for the mod system. Now you can earn chips in the arena pass events and other ways. You can also buy them in the store, so there is a little bit of a concern from myself and many others of a slight pay to win, but I don't think it will be in a massive way. It's not like you're improving stats in a crazy way, and a lot of things will also have trade-offs as well. So whilst it might seem a bit pay to win at the front end, I don't actually think it's going to be too much of a problem, and you can obviously earn chips through playing the game, so as long as it's a decent amount of chips through earning rather than paying, I don't think it'll be too bad. But regardless, the mod system is a great addition. So then we have the roster rating, which instead of having a player level which was capped at 50, roster rating is essentially an uncapped level in a way, which combine all of your hunters' levels into one number. So if you've got every hunter at level 10, I think there's 17 hunters now, so including Glicken at level 10, if everyone was there, your hunter or your roster rating even, would be 170, which means that you would have all 3 mod slots unlocked. So that is essentially how that is going to work. So my mod rating, I think at the moment, I can't remember the exact breakdown, but I think it will be around 474 at the moment. That's just because I've got everyone around level 30. This is definitely a nice little change. Honestly, it's nothing major, but I do quite like it. So I'll be curious to see who has the highest rating now. So let me know your rating in the comments if you can check it. Now, there are also a number of new game modes and changes. So Trophy Chase, you can now use the zipline with Trophy whilst carrying. I have seen a few people say that this was the case anyway, so I don't actually know. But if this is genuinely a new thing, it could make Trophy Chase even more interesting and fast-paced, which I don't think is a bad thing. We've then got a new Holo Arcade called Snipe and Sneak, where it'll be one team of Glicken versus a team of Diagos. And then we've also got Grandstand. Now, Grandstand is a PvE mode, which I'm very excited for. I've been requesting PvE for a very long time. Now, the PvE mode isn't just one unique mode that you can't play anywhere else. It essentially will just be dynamic control, power control, scrap salvage, hut ball, trophy chase, and squad brawl against bots. So it's nothing too crazy, but it's really good to see that PvE is making its way into the game. I think it will also be part of a limited time thing for now anyway, but hopefully it's something that they implement on a more regular basis and more permanent, because I definitely think this game would benefit from PvE, but also looking into PvE exclusive modes like some kind of boss battle mode or a horde wave based thing. I think there's a lot they can do for this game to play around with that, but regardless, I'm excited to see this. There are a bunch of balancing changes which I won't really go into too much. Pillbush has been nerfed quite a bit though, which is good to see. And a lot of these changes are because of the mods coming into the game, so that will be why. So there's a lot of changes here. But one thing I did want to go over, which I'm really happy about, is the jumping thing. A lot of the time, especially higher up in ranked play, you see a lot of people just jumping around and being really annoying with that. But now if you jump 3 consecutive times in a row, you actually can't interact with that button for over a second, which could actually make a pretty big difference in the way the game plays, so I'm very pleased with that. And there are a number of other things as well. I'll link this in the description as well, but like I said, Alec DeLorean has probably run through all of these as well, so I'd recommend doing that. There are a ton of new cosmetics, as always, nearly 200 this time, and they will be via the store, arena pass, vaults, and you name it. Pillbush has of course been added to the Hunter's Path, as we knew that would be the case. Now, the final thing I really wanted to talk about was ranked. This has changed quite a bit in terms of its scoring system. As you can see here, this is the current thing, so when you get to Kyber 3, if you lose 400, if you win, you gain 400. Now though, if you win in Kyber 3, you gain 500, if you lose 250, so it'll be easier to progress. However, you will need a lot more score. You can see here you needed 3,000 to progress, now it's 8,000, which is very considerable, but it should in theory be a bit easier to get to. So it'll be a bit more grindy, I think, but at the same time less so. Definitely going to be interesting to see how many people get to Kyber 1 now compared to when they used to. So that's definitely an interesting one. Do let me know what you think about that in the comments. And one final change actually that I'm really pleased with is the Hunter Fame grants. Instead of now just doing 800 singularly or all, you can now actually do level by level for each hunter rather than 800 at a time. So that is a great change. I don't use Hunter Fame anyway, but that's really great to see. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to go over in today's video. I'll have plenty more on things over the next few days as well. I'll be streaming the update tomorrow if the game gets sorted by then. But that is it from me today, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.